I'm going to preview the 1 seed Houston versus the 4 seed Duke, and the game will be played on March 29th at 8:39 p.m. Central Time on CBS. And currently, Houston's favored by 3.5. And I definitely know that Houston has a few season-ending injuries up front, and I know Duke does have some as well. I mean, or some injuries. Yeah, three season-ending for Houston, and Tugler, Walker, and but some Arsenault, which was back in December, so that's nothing new for them. While Duke, and I apologize if I'm looking down because I cannot memorize all this stuff. I really, really can't in all this. They got Foster's out for the season, Reeves is out for the season, and Roach is day to day with the finger. So that's simple. And the leading scorer for Houston is obviously L.J. Cryer, a former Baylor guard at 15.5 points per game, 2.4 rebounds per game, and anything less than two, it's so close to 2 assists. So I'm going to just go 1.9 assists per game. 1.1 steals per game, 1.7 fouls per game, 0.9 turnovers per game, 38.8% on threes on 286 attempts, 87.1% on free throws on 70 attempts. And there's Jamal Shad, which I think he could be a pro player at the next level a year from now. Maybe we'll see on the decision, but that's besides the point here. 13.2 points per game, 3.8 rebounds per game, 6.4 assists per game, 2.1 turnovers per game, 2.2 steals per game, 2 fouls per game, 30.9% on threes on 139 attempts, 77.9% on free throws on 104 attempts. Emmanuel Sharp at 12.8 points per game. That's the last double-digit score for Houston here. 3.6 rebounds per game. 1.5 steals per game. 2.6 fouls per game. 1.1 turnovers per game. 37.1% on threes on 221 attempts. 84.7% on free throws on 131 attempts. And there's Jerron Roberts, which he's the best big guy on the team for Houston. 9.4 points per game. 6.8 rebounds per game. 1.9 assists per game. That's why I might as well. It's close to 2. I mean, 2.9 blocks per game, 0.1, fouls per game, 2 fouls per game, 1.1 turnovers per game. 0 for 1 on threes, 52.5% on free throws though on 80 attempts. And there's Damian Dunn. Come on. I don't know why it sent me back to the NCAA thing, like scores thing, when I clicked his name. And that's on the ESPN app that I'm doing this from, though it looks like I have to do it through Safari. So I'm just saying that up front about this. So I apologize for the delay. But you gotta do. I mean, without trying to avoid it. And 2.4 rebounds per game. 0.8 steals per game, 1.5 fouls per game, 1 turnover per game, 31.7% on threes on 82 attempts, 69.9% on free throws on 83 attempts. I'm trying to get there. And there's Javier Francis, J-A apostrophe V-I-E-R. I apologize if I butchered that. 6 points per game, 5.1 rebounds per game. 1.6 blocks per game, 0.9 steals per game, 2.7 fouls per game, 0.8 turnovers per game, 54.5% on threes free throws on 66 attempts. So yeah, not that good at free throw shooting on some. And okay, Malik Wilson, I might as well go over that. He's a former Texas Tech player. At the time, at one point in his career, 4.5 points per game, 3.5 rebounds per game. Okay, 0.89 steals per game. He was actually at Louisiana before Texas Tech, but I just remember the Tech from afar. 1.3 fouls per game, 0.7 turnovers per game, 24.1% on threes on 29 attempts, 59.5% on free throws on 37 attempts. Yeah, and I might as well go over. Okay, I gotta have to go back and see if I need to mention Walker. Not. No, I'm not gonna mention him. Never mind. No need to mention. He's out for the year. And that's all the guys because I'm not mentioning Tugler for sure. And I'm also not gonna mention like Ryan Elvin and Cedric Latt. I don't know how probable they're going to play, but you never know. But they're like zero point 0.9 points per game, zero point 0.2 points per game. You made, Elvin made 2/3 of his free throws, but that's on 6 attempts. That's the thing. And 20% on free throws on Cedric Latt, by the way, on only 5 attempts. So yeah, they'd have to really be concerned about their free throw shooting potentially going into this game. And they survived against Texas A&M, as we all know, in overtime last night. So now Duke, on the other hand, Kyle Filipowski is their best leading scorer at 16.6 points per game, 8.2 rebounds per game, 2.9 assists per game. .6 blocks per game, 1.2 steals per game, 3 fouls per game, 2.1 turnovers per game, 34.6% on free throws. On threes on 104 attempts. It made 2/3 of your free throws on 159 attempts. So that's that, and Jeremy Roach, which he's day to day with a finger. 14 points per game, 2.5 rebounds per game, 3.2 assists per game, 1.3 turnovers per game, 1.2 steals per game, 2.2 fouls per game, 43.8% on threes on 121 attempts, 85.8% on free throws on 113 attempts. Jared McCain at 14 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, 1.9 assists per game since it's so close. 1.1 steals per game, 1.6 fouls per game, 1.2 turnovers per game, 41.5% on threes on 195 attempts, 86.8% on free throws on 76 attempts. There's Mark Mitchell as well. At 12.1 points per game, 6.1 rebounds per game, 0.8 steals per game, 0.7 blocks per game, 1.2 turnovers per game. And how many fouls per game? 1.5 to be exact. 27.5% on threes on 40 attempts, 62.6% on free throws on 155 attempts. So yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to go over Foster for sure. That's the next guy on the list, and he's not even going to play. And there's Ryan Young at 2.8 points per game, 3.4 rebounds per game, zero point 0.9 turnovers per game. .6 fouls per game, 0.9 turnovers per game. Yeah. 0 for 1 on threes. Made 2/3 of your free throws on 33 attempts. And there's TJ Power at 2.2 points per game, which I know he might not play a lot, but I'm just saying in this game here, he might be needed. And that's pretty much it. 35.7% on threes on 42 attempts, 86 for 7 on free throws, which is 85.7%. So, and the last player I'm going to mention is Jalen Blakes. And all of it. At 1.9 points per game. 0.7 steals per game. One foul per game. 26.3% on threes on 19 attempts, 93.3% on free throws on 15 attempts. So, obviously, for both of these teams, you want to stay out of foul trouble as much as possible while getting them in foul trouble, especially the better players. And if you're like Houston, you want to avoid that as much as possible, and you want to limit the transition points, fast break points, points in the paint, getting team to the free throw line. Obviously, you want to do the exact opposite on offense. You got to take care of the ball while forcing turnovers. You don't know about the officiating, so you got to play through it sometimes. And you got to be in a more mentally tougher team. You don't want to have like illegal screens. You got to keep composure. You got to out rebound the ball and limit the second chance points while getting some second chance points, because you know the difference in the game sometimes is a rebounding, and you got to make your free throws count when you get there to the free throw line. So that's a very big key for both of these teams, while trying to limit that as much as possible, because you don't want to get the other team in a bonus so quickly, and you got to be smart with your fouls and everything like that. You got to get good shot selection. You got to make the other team uncomfortable both offensively and defensively. I mean, that's the thing. And that's most of the keys right there. So anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button. And see you guys later. On the road to 600 subscribers. Of course, the ultimate goal is 1,000 more. So everybody on you out there, of course, liking the video. Comment video really helps YouTube algorithms so more people can see it. Sharing the video does help as well, so more people can watch. And if you're watching and not subscribed, hit subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well.